So this is part 2 of getting your pizza ready. And what I wanted to show you, here's the dough from yesterday. So remember, I made the dough, I put it in the refrigerator, and now it is about 24 hours later. You can make it the same day, just remember, let it sit on the counter for about 30 minutes. But I put it in the refrigerator, and then I brought it out for about 2 hours, and I let it sit on the counter to come up to room temperature. It's going to be easier to kind of spread it and allow those glutens to kind of relax, and we'll make our dough. So really quick, let's make our quick pizza sauce, because again, we're doing everything from scratch. Let's make the sauce as well. So this is an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I'll be giving you that. And then to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning and about half a teaspoon of fresh garlic. So that's about 2 big cloves of garlic. Now again, this is a red sauce. We'll talk about different options that you can make with your pizza. This is going to make, again, 1 large pizza. If you wanted to divide this and make smaller individual pizzas, you could. You could use a barbecue sauce or ranch dressing, you know, all these different options to your pizza once you have your dough made. So garlic, Italian seasoning blend, and that tomato sauce. That's how simple this sauce is. And it's going to be a really nice basic sauce on our dough. Okay, that's it. I'm just kind of making sure the garlic is mixed in there. If you wanted to add some crushed red chili flakes in here, you could, or you could even sprinkle them over the top of the pizza. So let's set that aside, and let's bring in our baking dish. Again, let's use whatever you have at home. So I'm going to use the 1/2-inch sheet pan. Has a little lip on it. Maybe you have a pizza stone. That will work. Maybe you have another type of cookie sheet. You don't necessarily have to have the edges on it. I just like it. Maybe you have a round pizza pan. You know, you can try to do even a 9x12 cake pan if you want it to try to go a little bit deep dish. I would stick with either something that is metal, because again, we want to transfer that hot heat from the oven to this. Could be glass. You can even look then at the bottom of the pizza dough and see if it is cooked or nice and brown. So we did preheat the oven up to 450, so that's a really hot oven. So I'm going to drizzle, I'm going to just kind of coat the bottom of this, because again, we do need the oil to help transfer the heat, but also we want to crisp up the bottom of that pizza dough, and we don't want it to stick to the pan. So just a light little layer, and I'm going to go up the edge just a little bit of pizza. I'm sorry, a little edge of oil all the way up the sides. Now, very carefully take, again, you can use a wooden spoon or maybe even a rubber scraper at this time. And what we want to do is we want to now take the dough out of here, and we're going to stretch it and put it on here to about a 9x12. So again, I'm just going to, even my hand's oily enough, just lightly pull all that dough out, okay, and put it right into the pan. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of start to work it with our hands. Now I work from the center out, and you kind of push down and you stretch it, okay? And you can go round, you can do a little square. If you're finding that it's not stretching enough for you, or you're stretching, it's bouncing back, those are the glutens, right? So because now we're stretching them out a little bit, it's going to say, wait a minute, this is getting a little too difficult. I don't want to do this. That's fine. Stretch it. We want to do a nice thin crust, even stretch it all the way out. So mine's going to stop stretching here in a second. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to give it about 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of my toppings out, and then we'll move on from there. So I let that pizza dough rest for about another 2 minutes, and I just kind of keep working it. Now mine's gonna be a little bit more square. My pan's square, okay? If you want to find a round sheet pan or a round, like we said, stone or something, then your pizza can be round. So what I did want to show you is, in case when you're stretching, if you get a little hole, so let's make a hole. Boom, I got 2 finger holes, okay? Just take the dough, pinch it back together, and you'll be just fine. Remember, we're covering this with sauce, we're covering this with cheese, so we're not going to see any of the little imperfections on the bottom. So again, I'm just kind of stretching it, trying to make sure it's the same thickness all the way around. You know, sometimes you leave a little too much dough in the middle and it needs to be stretched out. Okay, so the other thing we talked about is docking. So when you are going to make pizza, you're going to take a fork and you're just going to poke a couple holes along the bottom. And what this does, and I don't go along the crust because I do want the crust to puff up. But remember, those little holes are going to help prevent those big air bubbles that could pop up in the cooking process. All right, so I have my pizza sauce. Now I may not do all of it, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put some of this sauce on, and I'm going to use the back of my spoon. Now, when you put the sauce on, you want to stay about a ½ inch away from the edge of the crust, right? We want a crust to form. So put that in there. Spread your sauce around up to the edge. And if you don't like sauce, you know, like I said, you can use barbecue sauce. I've done even store-bought Alfredo sauce. Done a white cheese pizza. I like that. But I'm giving you the sauce to go ahead and make your red. All right, I'm going to put it all on there. And again, using the back of my spoon, just gently guiding it all the way around so I have a nice smooth layer. There we go. All right, then we're going to do about, I've got some shredded mozzarella. We're going to do 2 cups, I think, of this mozzarella. And again, just a nice little layer. And I'll be giving you the whole milk mozzarella. So you have everything to make a cheese pizza. Now, if you want to do other toppings, okay, I'm actually going to do a pepperoni today. You can, you know, go buy, they have turkey pepperoni. You can do ground sausage if you like. Just make sure you cook any of the meats other than if it's like a pepperoni ahead of time. You could do chicken, right? Chicken and ranch, or a barbecue chicken. Look at the topping. So I just went to, instead of buying a big package or the little packages of pepperoni, I went to the deli, the sandwich part of the store, and they have something called a sandwich pepperoni. It's a little bit bigger around, but I like it. And I'm just going to go ahead and put, I'm going to do rows, looks like maybe 3. See if I've got enough. There we go, look at that. Perfect. It was 9, 10, 11. I asked for 12, but they gave me 11 pieces of pepperoni. So this is going to go into that 450 degree oven for about 20 to 22 minutes, okay? The other thing you can do is, if you have some of that Italian seasoning left over as well, I do like to just hit the top of my pizza, or if you have some dried oregano, with just a little bit of dried herbs. Now, if you want to put basil on your pizza, fresh basil, you put any fresh herbs directly on the pizza after it comes out of the oven. All right, let's go see what this looks like in 20 minutes. So the pizza was in for just about 20 minutes, and I wanted to show you, it's still a little warm. Nice golden brown on the bottom, that's what you're looking for. Let it sit. I have it on a wood cutting board. I'm going to use one of the pizza cutters to go ahead and cut this up. And what I'm going to do is going to do nice little squares because, again, it's a square pizza. Right through the crust. Just going to go ahead and make it. And then just take a piece of pizza. Hope you guys enjoy.